Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2.
Welcome, Jikookers. Have you ever felt that behind the hustle and bustle of the fast-paced world, there are actually simple moments that quietly touch your heart? Initially, the program Are You Sure? Has caused a lot of attention. But after the interview with the director was released, something that was previously only realized by some people, while others rejected it, became increasingly clear. Because now, we are no longer talking about overinterpretation from fans. We're talking about the testimony of someone who was directly involved during the entire production process. Someone who sees every moment without filters, without edits, without strategic cuts. And according to him, what we see on screen is not even a full version of what really happened. It definitely changed the way of view. There's a big difference between what we see as viewers of a polished show with the music, cut scenes, and built-in storyline, knowing that even that already polished version still shows a level of closeness, trust, and connection between Jimin and Jungkook that is hard to ignore. When the director mentions that there are moments that are considered questionable to be shown, it is not a term that is used carelessly in the production world. In a professional context, the word usually refers to a situation that can be interpreted outside the narrative it wants to show to the public, or a moment that is too personal, too intense, or outside the usual safe boundaries that are maintained in programs like this. And that's where an important question arises. How natural and detached are they to reach such a point? It also has to do with something that many people have been aware of for a long time. When Jimin and Jungkook are together, they are like being in their own world. This is not new. This has been seen over the years in a variety of content, behind the scenes, in concerts, in live broadcasts, and in other spontaneous interactions. But in an event format like this, longer, more relaxed, like a joint trip without a rigid structure, that dynamic becomes much more visible. Suddenly, the scenes that feel awkward and the sudden shift of scenes make more sense. What was previously considered just an edit to maintain the tempo, now feels like a transition that covers parts that can't be displayed. Not because it's bad, but because it might be too real, too personal, or doesn't fit the boundaries that can be displayed openly. It also indirectly breaks the old assumption that everything that happens is script. The director himself explained that the writing team only arranged basic things like locations and schedules, while how those moments unfolded was entirely up to Jimin and Jungkook. That is, what we see is their original dynamics at that moment. And this is very important. Made-up interactions rarely feel this natural. Rarely has small details that are difficult to engineer. Eye gazes, comfortable silences, small jokes, spontaneous touches, and invisible reactions made up. All of that is what makes this show feel so sincere, and now we know that it is no coincidence. If all of these pieces of information are put together, the confirmed naturalness, the moments that can't be aired, the editing that looks adjustable, and the reaction of the production crew, then it's pretty clear that the dynamics between them are much stronger than some would like to deny. Of course, this also drags us into the theoretical debate among the fandom. There are people who are very attached to certain narratives, and when conflicting information comes up, instead of reconsidering it, they reject it. Now some even try to blame or doubt the director's statement. In fact, when so many pieces of fact point in the same direction, it can be hard to keep denying it. Interestingly, Jimin and Jungkook themselves never felt the need to explain anything. They don't refute theories, don't argue, don't try to convince anyone. They just continue to be themselves. And it actually has a much greater weight. All of this also arouses curiosity. If what we see has already triggered so many reactions, imagine the moments that are never shown because they are considered too personal or too intense. Beyond the fandom debate, what is clear is that their dynamics feel real, powerful, and natural enough to surprise even the professional production team. But on the other hand, it's quite exhausting to see so many people focusing more on what's lacking, what should have happened, or what wasn't shown, when we're still in the middle of all this. The concert series is not even finished. The expectation to always see something more often makes people forget to enjoy what already exists. It's important to remember, Jimin and Jungkook don't owe anyone anything. What they show is because they are comfortable and want to do it, not because they have to meet anyone's expectations. And that's where the beauty of their dynamic lies. It doesn't feel contrived, it doesn't feel repetitive, it doesn't feel forced. Often it is precisely the small and simple moments that are most meaningful. Like the brief moment when Jimin held Jungkook's face, then Jungkook did the same. A moment that is quiet, brief, natural, yet full of meaning. Without the need to overdo it, without the need to be dramatic. And the reaction that came out of that brief footage was enough to show the impact. Many try to delete it, report it, pressure the account to take it down. People will not react in such a way to something that is meaningless. Meanwhile, some people still ask why they don't do more, say more, or show more. In fact, the most beautiful part of following their journey is the ignorance of what will happen next. Enjoy the surprise. Appreciate what comes naturally. There is still a concert ahead. There are still moments to come. And as they always point out, the most memorable moments often come when we least expect them. There is great value in being able to say, I am happy with what I have. Because what exists now is very meaningful. Looks, gestures, small interactions that feel sincere. In the end, what makes all of this special is not the number of moments, but the authenticity of those moments. And in that case, Jimin and Jungkook continue to show that they don't need to do much to make a big impact. Thanks for watching till the end, Jikook lovers. If you also feel that Jimin and Jungkook really gave their best performances at each show, don't forget to support this video by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let us know in the comments section which moments of appearance from the Face era give you goosebumps. See you in the next video. Borahi!
Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good.